Welcome to a new fragrance review. Today I'm going to tell you my top 5 fragrance house that I hate. So today's video will be fragrance I hate or dislike more, not necessarily 100% hate. And before I go, I have some honorable mention. My honorable mention would be for all those little fragrance house that has someone's name in it, which that someone is just a person that wanted to make money and don't have a clue about fragrance. I'm thinking about all those stars like Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, Billie Eilish, that are like now Billie Eilish just released her fragrance, but thinking of for men more like David Beckham, for example. All those fragrances usually are not really good. And it's just an honorable mention because I don't think they really are fragrance house. Usually it's another fragrance house that's cheaper, that do bad stuff, that just want to make money out of the name of someone else. Sometimes it's the person that want to make more money with his name and ask some random bad company to make fragrance. And I don't think they should be considered a proper fragrance house, so that's why it's just an honorable mention. But if I would like dig into those fragrance house, there's a good chance that a lot of them would be in the list. So now going in the list, and I'm gonna go with fragrance house, but they are all designer house actually. I will still consider them fragrance house because they are well known for their fragrance, except one that is not quite well known for their fragrance, but still, and one of them that is more known for its fragrance, at least for men. So number 5 is Calvin Klein, and Calvin Klein, what I don't like about them is, first of all, they always just do flankers of their old stuff. They have like 3 fragrance basically. They have Obsession, they have Eternity, and they have CK1. There's more, but that's about those 3 fragrance. Every year they release new stuff. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I think they are really an entry level kind of fragrance. Good thing about them is that they're cheap, but I think a lot of them kind of smell cheap also. And I won't talk too bad about Calvin Klein because I don't hate them. It's just I don't really enjoy them. And I've put Calvin Klein at number 5, but it could technically had been Paco Rabanne also or other fragrance house. But I think Calvin Klein kind of just lay low, don't do much, do a lot, but finished you not doing much. Number 4 is Tommy Hilfiger, and Tommy Hilfiger, they are not really well known for their fragrance, and I don't like that brand because they are not doing anything crazy. And it's not that I don't like the brand. I actually like Tommy Hilfiger as a brand. I think what they do is pretty good quality, and I think their design and everything they do is pretty nice. Actually, I'm wearing a Tommy Hilfiger shirt right now. The problem is that their fragrance just exists to exist. They sell clothes, and why not sell a fragrance? And I feel like they don't care about it. It's not like Calvin Klein, for example, which is one of brands usually put in the same level as Tommy Hilfiger or Ralph Lauren, which is also a brand that's usually put at the same level of Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger, you just don't care. That's why I don't like them. I think they could do better. I mean, it's easy actually. They could do anything, even something bad, it would be better. That's why I don't like them. They need to do something nicer. They need to put some thought and effort into their fragrance brand, and I'm sure they could do something nice, but they don't. Number 3, it's English Laundry, and what I don't like about them is that what they do is just things that are really synthetic, really that smell nasty, unnatural. I know a lot of people like them because what they do is cheap, but it's cheap and it smells cheap. I think their fragrance kind of smell the price that you're paying for them at a discounter. And even the brand itself, like the cloth line, I think what they're doing is just kind of trying to make something that kind of look nice and like other brand without actually succeeding and just making cheap stuff. Then it's not so much that I hate, it's just that I don't really appreciate what they do. I know they have a lot of stuff, a lot of variety. Some people might enjoy a lot of their fragrance, and that's all right. I don't hate them for that. At the opposite, they offer something cheap that people can enjoy. It's just that I don't enjoy what they do. Number 2 is Chanel. And Chanel, I think as a business, they're kind of the Walt Disney of fragrance, and they have a lot of the view of the market. When you think about fragrance house, for sure, Chanel would come in your mind. If you ask people on the street, name 5 fragrance, some fragrance from Chanel will come. That's for sure. Pretty much closer to being the first one named more than the fifth. And I don't mind that they're well known. It's just that everyone's just about one fragrance, which is Bleu de Chanel, and sometime Allure Spa, but I think there's more to the brand. They're in their older fragrance, and they don't play with this. They just go with the flow of Bleu de Chanel, and they don't try to go out of their bound with their main line. They don't try to review other older stuff. And as a brand, as I said, they're like the Walt Disney of fragrance, try to make everything for everyone, but they just do it for the money and not for the art of it anymore. Also, another thing with Chanel is that if you know about fragrance reformulation, well, they are the company to blame for that. The reason reformulation exists because people test for fragrance and their compound, how it interact with people's skin. And some time ago, before Chanel, people were spraying fragrance on their clothes and not on their skin. And it's Chanel that really started the thing that people now put fragrance on their skin and started the whole reformulation. A lot of nice, amazing old fragrance, especially those that you love and that got reformulated to be just a shadow of their former self. Well, that's because of Chanel, mostly. Sometimes it's just to cut cost of the things, but usually it's because how it interact with people's skin. And number one is Hugo Boss, and Hugo Boss, what I don't like about it, also as a brand, I would say the same, is that they sell stuff for a high price that are not worth a high price. I think Hugo Boss, the quality of their fragrance, not necessarily like the originality, but the quality of their fragrance is the same level as English Laundry, but their price are not the same level. I think a lot of their fragrance are the same. I did a review of Boss Orange or something like that. Reminded me a lot of Boss Bottle, and I was told that was made before Boss Bottle. And whether it's made before or after, it's similar, and they don't kind of go outside of what they made already. It's not like Calvin Klein that made the same line, or Paco Rabanne that stay with the same 2 line and just make flankers that are different, but still are different. Feels like Hugo Boss is just changing one ingredient and releasing it as the new whatever Boss bottle, I don't know what, and there's nothing new, nothing original. It smells super synthetic, and they sell it for over $100. People buy it anyway. So that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If it's the case, well, like and share. If there's fragrance house that you disagree that are not good, tell it in the comment. I'm sure there's at least one that you'll disagree. Also, tell me, what are the fragrance house that you absolutely hate? Might it be for price quality ratio, the originality, the brand itself? Just write which fragrance house you hate in the comments. So thanks for watching and see you soon.